There had a good picture. I'm so sorry. Okay. Let me. Oh lordy, I might have peed myself just a tiny bit. All right, you guys. I am super excited. I know somebody out there has some unnatural love for the person that's about to come out on this stage, but it can't be as deep, intense, or unnatural as mine. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Zack Snyder. So first of all, Zack, this obviously is not your first Comic-Con. You're a pro, so welcome back to Hall H. And this is a very special movie. I want to know a little bit quickly about how stoked you are. You've always been a comic book enthusiast. You've lived in this world for a while now. How insane is this particular film for you?
Well, it's cool because, I mean, for me, you know, it's really a dream come true type of project because I've always been into the sort of big icon superheroes, and Batman and Superman. I mean, I don't know after that what do you do?
Yeah.
It's they're pretty epic stuff. Yeah, and by the way, in getting a chance to make this particular movie with this particular cast, I don't know for me how it gets any better than that.
Yeah.
I really, honestly, it's been a pleasure and an honor working with this group.
I've seen some footage from the film. It's extraordinary. I don't know quite how to articulate what an epic collision and story this is going to be. I think the thing to do right now is to bring the rest of the cast out.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Holly Hunter. Jesse Eisenberg! Sinister. He's super sinister. Look at him. He's got a blazer on. That's evil. Ladies and gentlemen, Amy Adams! Out of one suit and into another, back on our stage, Henry Cavill! And ladies and gentlemen, the Batman, Ben Affleck! All right, hi everybody. Have a seat. Yes, take a seat. Oh, Jeremy. Do we not have Jeremy? Oh, he is here. He wasn't. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy Irons. Our team is fully assembled. Okay, so I think before we chat, there's something that Zack wants to show everybody.
Yes. Oh yeah. Well. All right, so we put this together, especially for you guys. It's not the whole movie, of course, but I think you get a little bit of a taste of what it's about. So. Yeah, let's just show it, because honestly.
All right. Aw, thank you, Zack. So, I'm supposed to, I've got two big questions off the top before I move to the audience. And the first one is, for people here who are not DC experts. Not everybody has read every DC book. 3 people in the back who've never slept. How canonical is this conflict? How rooted in canon is the Batman v Superman conflict? Or is this something that was created for this film? Because personally, I never heard of it until now.
Well, I mean, listen, you know, if you want to talk about the story itself or about the sort of particulars of this movie, that was the thing that it's definitely based on just ideas that we had, you know, in a room talking about like what would be cool to see. Now, the idea of Batman fighting Superman is not a, it's a thing that happens all the time in the comic books. But you know, for me, images like, there's a bunch of images, and there's been a lot of talk about my sort of love of a particular comic book, which is, you know, The Dark Knight Returns, which is, you know, a comic book that I love, and I definitely homage a lot in the movie as a way of saying to Frank Miller, like, you're a genius, and I think that book is genius. But the story itself is not that story. The story itself is a story that we came up with just, you know, on our own. Chris Terrio, who is the amazing writer of the screenplay, you know, is a genius. He worked with Ben on Argo and did an amazing job, and that movie is great. And you know, he and I just, you know, we just talked about like how do you make this make sense? Like, what is the why of Batman fighting Superman? And there's we had a lot of great, we had done stuff in Man of Steel that actually allowed us to create a conflict that really makes sense for what this movie's about. And also sort of launch you toward what could be bigger conflicts with maybe more other superheroes. Who knows? I mean, I do know.
You totally know. You're a comic tease.
Yeah.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you worked through that with me. It was nice.
Sorry,
this is also the first time we're seeing Batman and Superman together on the big screen. We've seen it in the books before, obviously, many times. And it's also the first time we have both Gotham and Metropolis together. So again, how did you merge those universes, and kind of what rules did you follow and what rules did you break?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the big rule that we broke is we put Gotham and Metropolis right next to each other. I don't know if it appeared that way ever, maybe somewhere. Probably, it's been, you know, if you dig deep enough, you can find a justification for just about everything. But it made sense to us and worked for our story that they were kind of sister cities, you know, across the big bay. And so you had kind of, it's like Oakland and San Francisco kind of, yeah.
I'm from San Francisco. San Francisco would win, I think. Okay.
So you're from Metropolis.
I'm from Metropolis? Okay, good. That feels good. Look, people know this world and they think they know this world intimately, but there have been so many iterations and so many reboots, obviously, in the DC universe. I want to talk a little bit about the panel here because this is a pretty iconic group of characters that people know that have been played before. If we could just go down the line and talk a little bit about what creative challenge that presents when you're playing a character that's been played before multiple times by multiple actors. What do you stay true to from the canon, and what do you invent? And was that challenging for you? Did everybody just find a new way into the character and it was simple? I don't know. Should we start with why don't we start with Carl? Anyone who would like to start? This is a democracy.
Okay.
Well, Michael Caine was pretty amazing. As Alfred. So I had big shoes to sit in, but he's a little different, my Alfred. So I think there are surprises in store, but I carried along myself on the explosions around me and on the world around me. I followed the boss and tried to make him happy and tried to make him safe and tried to make him grow up a little.
Hi everyone, you look so beautiful. I'm so excited, so I'm just buying some time. Well, for me, with Wonder Woman, I feel like I have been given such a huge opportunity to show the strong, beautiful side of women, finally. Thank you. And Wonder Woman has all the strength of a superhero, but at the same time, she's very sophisticated, loving, and has a lot of emotional intelligence. So for me, I feel very, very privileged to be the one who's going to bring her back to life, and I just can't wait to celebrate this.
Girl power fist.
I was going to say the thing about the strong, independent women, but she took it. No, my character has been in obviously other movies, and you know, there's always kind of like a campy element to the character, but probably in terms of your question, I think there's probably a real kind of emotional groundedness to this version of it, and I attribute that to the writer Chris Terrio-Isaacs, who's just such a phenomenal writer, and gives every character in this movie like real emotional core, even though the situations are so heightened and theatrical.
Yes. It's also, he also had the most luxurious locks of any Luthor ever. Really very, I mean, swing that around. That was beautiful.
A very low bar, they were all bald.
It's great. I've never been to Comic-Con, I just realized. You guys are awesome. You have a lot of energy. I like it. Lois Lane. I wanted to be Lois Lane since I was 5 years old, so there you go. And I watched, I think it was Superman 2 on replay over and over and over. But when the opportunity rose, of course I was nervous. I wanted to, you know, make you guys all happy with Lois. But at the same time, I was just willing and open to sort of bring a very modern take on her and just sort of embrace again this really strong woman, and it's this wonderful thing that women have, where we have this emotional intelligence and vulnerability along with strength that I thought was really beautiful that Zach lets me bring to Lois.
For me, well, obviously, especially Trisha Reeve did such a fantastic job. It was dangerous for me to go anywhere near that, so I left that to its own thing, and then just with Zach on Man of Steel, built the character as much as I could, drawing from the canon, and I've just tried to follow that and stay true to the character that we ran with in Man of Steel.
I think if I thought too hard about the actors who played this part before, I couldn't have taken the job. I mean, Tim Burton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney, the great Christian Bale, and I talked to Zach about it. I was like, "Are you sure?" You know, and he said, "I have this vision, I have this idea for the guy, and you're perfect for it." And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" He's like, "At the end of his rope, he's older, he's like a burnout." But it's true. Thank you. Thanks, Mom. The truth was that he took me through the process of creating this character that I quite almost didn't see, and at the end of it, I was like even sort of astonished to look at it and go, "That's exactly what you pitched me," and I wasn't even sure I was doing it. I had this really weird experience where before we started the movie, I was getting my kid a Halloween costume, and my son is really into Batman, and wisely, and we went to a store, a costume store in Los Angeles, and it was pretty empty, and I was in the aisle, and I hear this, "Oi!" And I turn around, and it's Christian Bale, who's the sweetest guy. And there he and I are standing in the Batman comic. And I said, "Look, man, you know, you're the best. Like, well, what do you think? You got any tips?" "Make sure you can piss in that suit."
Yeah, we put a zipper on it. Yeah.
Did you?
Actually, I think, Henry, we put a zipper on your suit retroactively, didn't we?
This time.
Yeah, this time. Yeah. Yeah, you don't think of these things. I think it'll be fine. I mean, how long is it going to be in it? It's not going to be that long.
Yeah, like 15 hours.
Oh, and also, let me just say, Holly has an original part in the film, and I've been such a giant fan of Holly's forever. When we were writing the script, I was like, okay, we need to find a part. We need to write a part for Holly Hunter to play in this movie. I don't care what the F it is. But it turns out that it's a super important part, so that's good. But she's amazing, so.
I'm gonna be a dick. Because, you know, the title begs a very specific question, right?
Which part of the title?
The Batman v Superman
Okay,
part of
good.
the title.
Very good.
And you know you've heard this a million times since you started developing this film, and you've heard it many
Right.
times after, who would win a fight between Batman and Superman. Now, I'm not going to ask that question, because I
It's
think we
good
know
because I made a whole movie about it.
yeah, it's good. So we can just answer it today, and then, you know, because again, essential to this conflict is an immortal man, a god, as you articulated in the film, versus a human being, which begs a lot of other questions about kind of, us embracing our inhumanity and what that means. However, this Batman seems to be Mecha Batman. He is a little bit of an augmented Batman.
I think the thing to look at in we call it the Mech Suit, whatever, but it really, in truth, it's a self-preservation concept, not to, give anything away, but it's not really enhancing his strength more than protecting him. Buying him time, if you will.
From everything that Superman is going to blow out of his eyeballs,
He's
mouth,
just going
and
to get
nose.
pummeled like a pinata. So.
It's
The rest you have to see, because it's slightly complicated.
okay. we're gonna
Like I said, it's a whole movie.
It's the whole
entire
answers
film.
that question.
Literally, that's the only question.
All right, we're gonna take an audience question. Yeah.
Hi. Okay. So,
You are adorable. Look at you. Yes.
thank you.
Strike a pose.
So, anyway, clearly in the movie, you deal with a lot of philosophical issues in the film. And what I was wondering is if any of what you worked through maybe perhaps changed the way that you will look at life now.
You just stayed adorable through the entire question.
Who's it for?
Pure adorability. Who is that?
You are
Is that for Batman and
smarter than
Superman?
everyone up here.
That could really be for whoever has an answer for it.
Bucket of cute on the left.
Zach, you can take this one.
Is there anybody who wants to tackle
That feels
that?
like those guys down at that end.
Yeah, it seems like Batman and Superman.
I
I
just,
don't know, it's kind of tough for me to say. I play a god, so I'm going to step away from this.
I think there are some really interesting, that Zach and Chris put together some really interesting ideas of, Metropolis being a big successful city and Gotham City being a place where a lot more downtrodden people live, and there's a ferry they take across the people who work in Metropolis take from Gotham City, and the whole idea of wealth and power and the way power engenders fear, and there were a lot of really ideas that were a little bit too smart for me to understand, but that the movie was trafficking in, and that I thought made it feel real to me and smart, and so I was even more proud to be part of it.
This is from someone who made a movie that I had to go to Wikipedia every 5 minutes to understand Argo. But sure, yeah, Superman versus Batman. Too smart for Ben Affleck. Okay.
I'll be more Wikipedia.
One more. Oh, Superman's back out of the gym again.
Hello.
Was it leg day or arm day? All right, let's go.
Look at this guy's tattoos.
Yeah.
He's got tattoos on his calves.
Oh, very nice.
Superman.
Aww.
How do I know that? I've seen him before.
You know what, Zach? So have we. Go for it, buddy.
When you guys were filming the movie, at what point in time did you say, oh my God, we're coming up with something great, awesome, we're gonna blow all you guys' minds away? Without spoilers, but if you do,
Or spoilers.
please, thank you.
While shooting the movie, I feel like,
Yes.
the truth is, when you're shooting a movie, there are moments when you shoot the movie that feel like, wow, this is cool. Just for instance, when we were we did a little photo shoot, while everyone's getting their costumes together, and it's like Wonder Woman and Superman and Batman all sort of standing there, getting their pictures taken, and you're like, oh my Lord, that's crazy. Okay. But I think that, for me, it actually happens long before that, when we're just kind of figuring out what we're going to do, and I'm drawing, and we're just kind of getting ideas of, different kind of images that we're going to create, and I just, normally, this is going to sound weird, but I'm by myself when that's happening, and I don't do anything weird.
Sure.
But there is that moment like when you do if you do a doodle and you're like, oh my Lord, I know I want to see that. Where are the cameras? Where's everybody? Come on, let's go shoot this. So I think that's really, for me, the moment. I don't know, for these guys, if they had different experiences, of course they probably would, but, because by the time also I'm filming, I've seen the costume 1,000 times, and, it's like a love scene, everyone talks about, oh, when you do a love scene, is it sexy? And I don't know, because I've never done a love scene in a movie, I've only witnessed it. That would be weird.
Not creepy.
But they always say, the actors are always like, yeah, no, it's like, this is dumb. So I don't know if they have that same feeling when they're in their superhero costume.
I had a feeling where, first of all, I want to say Christian Bale's also buying his son a suit. He doesn't just hang out. But for me, you look at the cast and you look at the script, and that's so much of what's there, and I always thought you can only tweak a certain amount past that because you've almost kind of made the movie. And I remember a day, about 2 weeks in it, where I read the scene, and I thought about how to play it, and I came in and watched it, and I thought, okay, yeah, we should probably shoot it this way or that way. And Zach set the shot up so that it was one shot, and he put it on a crane, and he came around, and he covered everybody's dialogue, and it kind of encompassed the scope of what we want to do, and I was just like, fuck, I would never do that. That's so good. Sorry, it says people are under 18.
They've heard it before.
But anyway, I remember thinking that we were in good hands.
Before we move towards the end, we just haven't heard anything from Holly, and I just want to hear something out of your beautiful mouth with beautiful. Want to hear my voice?
That's it. Thank you.
All right. Well, we have one last kind of thing you want to do for the audience before we go. And we're gonna take
Oh, should we? Yeah, guys. I guess we should take one more look at the piece because I know it goes by fast. It's only 3 minutes and 11 seconds, I think, or something like that.